Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I am Gio. In this moment, I talking about for my project in the second part. In this video, I talk about the 5 question and the resource and the response. In the first, what are the customers' needs and weights of the product? Let's divide to the points in generalists and enthusiast customers. The generalist is, I mean, people who are only looking for the image of the car. They are given the most basic characteristics. For example, the efficiency for an sport cars, the practice, or the comfortable. For these people, the image of the material or the practice, almost the possibility for the sport car, are the main deciders that customers like that can have. Their needs are still the same to transport from the point A to B in the faster way, but being a car where they can go to comfortable as safe has possible. Being that the sports cars that can be the funny car on Wednesdays or anytime, but can be calm or if you are a compliment with someone, for example, your daughter, your son, I don't know, is your friend you with, and the enthusiasm is different. People who see the performance of the cars to increase, or simple to get the base, just get up, for example, the horsepower, the 0 to 100 meters for hour, the two spin, the force and induction, the transmission and the suspension type, and the other factors. The wish on the enthusiast is very simple. First, to have the faster car possible for their money. Maybe there are way to increase the power engine or know more about these cars. They are looking for a car that can be their weekend toy and then hasn't speed so much and the car tag doesn't compete with that. The needs of this block is the same before. Go from the point A to point B, but nobody that you have the best car they are copy because there are people who know about the mechanics of the cars is an enthusiast. Okay. The second part were the attributes that achieve your product startup and description. In this moment, I have two ideas or 2 points. The design to have the designs worthy and any German brake because the European rates have very good designs, but at a more accessible price for the same makers, having an image of the present equals to the minimum customs. And the second point is the electrification. Innovating with the use of the batteries and electric motors, the use, for example, the electrical motors for the engine and the car suspension that will be the interval transmission and the suspension. The 2 motors in the front part helping the front wheels with the power in each engine. I want to compare to the seats of 40 cylinders engine that will helping the turbo to loading or changing. Loading or spinning. And the 3 question: what the custom efficiency of the product is being with the affordable or the expensive? The product of the higher category that the general rate, for example, Volkswagen or GTR and GTR in the company, but it's more compared to the premium bridge car, Audi, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Volvo, Lexus, with high quality cars dedicated to the comfort or the performance of the cars or the category. In this concept, these cars because these weights to meaning the characteristics of featurings or the supercar, for example, the Lamborghini Huracan, the Chevrolet Corvette C8, the McLaren CC6 Late G. But entry and the session that me still don't performing, the electrification. That is, we investigate in technology, assembled performance, they can offer will be a great cost. This way, you can have the idea I been ever long in the price, that not the right competitors that we constrain these cars with these guns goes up to rise. The investigation we thought about looking for the best autonomy in terms of the batteries and how we can adapt to the 6 to 4 cylinder 8 engine with the Variant geometry turbocharger with an electrical turbo. So that is always spinning and there are no turbo lag. Then the car numbers checking the lines and this aerodynamic in windstoners and who pulling to chassis so that is the car we stays the power we don't losing rigid may train to sustain the standards. There is involving large capital the 14 at the price about the 25,000 to $30,000, which could be high for the general public, but we don't reach the of sums in the future for the people who bought an Audi S3 and BMW M3 or an AMG 45 in Mercedes or other examples. This perhaps the best opinion for bowling and necessarily for the appearance, the imaging, this performance, and the innovation in the segment of the supercars in the other marks. The 40 question: what are the social status or identity for the product? This product or heavy or car is more talking for the enthusiast cars and below are the people who can buy the premium car. Audi, Mercedes, BMW, Lexus, Kia. But then looks like the supercar for all the sides of the Audi S3, Lamborghini Huracan, almost others examples. Therefore, the image I would have is of the people with the great polishing power, the economic power, with the loan of the money upper medium class that with the price belong be great of the big company. Okay, the 5. That's the design of the product. The image you see there are those of the cars stitch or the render. They can be done thanks for the combination for the Lamborghini Huracan Evo and the Maserati RE19 and with the influence on the last Lamborghini, for example, Lamborghini Murcielago, Lamborghini Huracan. In the other concept, for example, the Proyect ID, the Volkswagen. We are can appreciate this more aggressive and the line cleans. Of course, some things for the just the classic supercars like the Theors or the Rings, and having an influence in the motor cars and the other principles on the 2000th century. For example, the Project ID or the other cars, for example, the 7020S of the McLaren, projects for Audi, the Q5. That's it, teacher. Is only for my part and for my project